Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another edition of The Brothers of Legacy. I am your hostess with the mostest, A.D. Walker. I appreciate you guys rocking with us this morning. We're going to have a rip-roaring show today. Let's bring it down a little bit. So I thank you for being here. All right, so make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. We're going to have an interesting conversation. You know, sometimes well, maybe don't, but sometimes when I start with a topic, I've been starting to think about switching it up a little bit. And this may be one of them times, but we'll see. Bam, let me do that. All right, let's do this. But before we get started, wait, who's that? Lisa, blessings, Lisa. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Sharing is caring. This is your opportunity to share. Make sure you share and let everybody know that the brothers are in the building. Good morning, Mark. Oh, in the building early. So, coming to the stage all the way from Georgia. None other than my brother, the pastor of Solomon's Temple Christian Ministries worldwide, Pastor Brian McCory Sr. Whoa!
Morning, family. Morning, all. Happy Tuesday.
Yes, indeed.
Terrific Tuesday, as my wife would say.
All right. Terrific Tuesday. Yes, and it's the first of the month. Yes.
Oh, it is the first, isn't it?
It is. Yes, indeed. All right. So yeah, we're gonna have a great conversation today. I think Cole should be in the building in a moment. So we're gonna see how this goes. Let's see. Spliggity splow. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Tag somebody to be a part of this conversation. Today, yeah, I guess I'm gonna rock with this for a minute, but we'll see where it goes. Is there a difference in what men and women want? Is there a difference in what men and women want? Is there a difference? Inquiring minds want to know. All right, so stay tuned. Make sure you share, tag, and join our text community, LWN. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576, and you'll never, ever miss an episode. It's a guaranteed notification. Facebook has no love for us, so please go ahead and join our community. Text LWN to 84576. Hey, Mama McCoy, great morning to you as well. Let's see. Do this, spliggity splow. All right, we'll be right back.
I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another edition. Good morning. What's up, everybody?
This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. Ready to go live? Go to bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. That's bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. This episode is also brought to you by Self. Build credit now. Go to bit.ly/now build credit. bit.ly/now build credit. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
You don't know nothing about Welcome Back, Carter.
You know what?
You need to stop.
Not really. Not other than the beginning. I've seen the beginning. I watched a little bit of it. I couldn't tell you much about the episodes. I remember my man with the afro, but like not just the white dude, but there was one black guy. Was several black people, but I just remember the man with the biggest afro. I remember that. Like I don't know the characters. Yeah, I'll admit. Yeah, I have no clue. I know the song. I will not pass any trivia. Someone asked me about Welcome Back, Carter. What's up, Keita? Good morning. Oh man. So yeah. I know. What's happening? The original. I know that one from the reruns.
From the reruns or rerun?
I know. When he busts his start pop like.
Oh, I just saw something that's really funny on social media. People put like me, him, you,
Right.
whatever. Me, then the statement, me in heaven, or no, me in heaven. Yeah, God, you're about to get your wings. Me, lemon pepper or barbecue.
Wow.
I know that's corny, but at 9:00 in the morning on a Tuesday, that's hilarious.
Doesn't work. That's right. Oh man, let's see.
God says, "Get out."
Okay, let's see. The wing is en route. Awesome. All right, let's get it. All right. So I've been pondering about how to kind of approach this.
Okay.
But because and I'm gonna keep it real because I've been kind of like on a YouTube research, not like some deep reading of all these kind of books, but a YouTube research. Because a lot of people have been talking about relationships, the difference between men and women, and needs and wants and things of that nature, and of course speaking in generalities. There's always anomalies, and everybody's not the same. So I understand that I'm prefacing this conversation by saying that everybody's not the same. Just kind of some of the generalities we may have seen, or some of the similarities we might have seen in needs and wants. Hey, Deborah, good morning. Or great morning to you as well. So would you say, as far as relationship goes, in your journey, have you seen? Do you notice like men and women want something different, or do you notice kind of similarities? So one of the biggest ones, someone has said, I think makes sense to say it that way, is the financial aspect. For a man, we're not really looking for a woman with a lot of money, like, working, kind of handling stuff, but you don't have to be balling, whereas women may want a man to be a lot more stable, climbing the ladder, making, I guess creating a greater sense of financial security, putting it that way, not like she's just wants some kind of sugar daddy, but just someone that's building a greater sense of security financially. Whereas a man, it may not be his priority. Like, you don't have to be climbing the corporate ladder, making a whole bunch of money. Maybe when I meet you, you're at least taking care of business, like at least you're showing that you're not irresponsible, what's your opinion on that, and anything else that you might have seen in similarities or the same? Good morning, Sam. Good morning, Miss Crystal. Is that
It's my family?
There you go, in the building.
My brother's on, my mom's on, my cousin's on.
I feel like I get in a fight, I'm gonna lose.
On here, man. Hey, Crystal.
We get into a fight. I feel like I'm gonna just lose. This ain't right. With my family, I got Sam in the building.
Yeah. Look, I'm claiming Keita as natural family. She ain't just spiritual family.
Right. You said, "Would you stop wearing a hat?" I am.
The wife has spoken. The wife has spoken.
I'm just saying.
I'm trying to get his New York on.
Right now, I'm saying, son. So yeah. So
at least it doesn't have a kangaroo on the back of it.
Oh, the Kango. I need a
Kango. So, listen. The reality is everyone is looking for something different, but everyone is looking for the same thing at the same time.
Okay.
I think that it's all about messaging.
Okay.
Right? I think everyone wants to be content, wants to be happy, wants to be in a thriving relationship. Everybody wants to be financially liberated. They want to be financially sound. Right. But I think if people go at it in different ways, I think priorities get mixed up. So it's a really, really broad question. Right. Again, like I said yesterday, which is why we need to have the Word of God planted down on the inside so that you can get your priorities in order. I don't want to make this a lesson, but I'll just answer the question.
Right.
The answer to the question is, I believe the reality is we want the same things, but we seek it differently.
Okay. Want the same thing, but we seek it differently. Break that down, brother.
Meaning, nobody goes into a relationship looking for a breakup.
Right. Okay.
I don't believe people go into a relationship looking to be dishonest. I don't believe people go into a relationship looking to cheat. I think they go into a relationship looking for fulfillment.
Right.
That
makes sense.
So in that sense, we all want the same thing.
Gotcha.
Right.
I
don't think anybody goes into a relationship, wants to establish a connection with a partner and want to be broke.
Right.
You know,
right. That's true.
But your strategy, your tactical approach to getting financial security may be tainted, may be jacked up, may be, disillusioned, but I think we all want it. I think we all want to be secure. We all want to be stable. We just have different methodologies for getting what we want. Right. Some of us want it together. We want to make it together. We want to get it. We're in this thing together.
Right.
Some of us are in it self-centered. Gotcha. I want mine, you get yours. I want us both to get it, but I want mine first. Some of us want it at the expense of someone else because we don't think about the fact that you're taking advantage of someone to get what you want, thinking that it's for everybody because you feel like if I do well, we do well. But wait, if I'm killing you to do well, then it's what I'm saying is I believe we all want. I think deep down we all desire the same thing.
Right.
But I think our tactical approach, our strategies are the things that need to be. And again, see, I'm ready to go into teaching mode, but I'm just trying to answer the question. We want the same thing in your heart of hearts. You want the same thing.
So
I think
is it the how we get it, I guess, and setting the expectation of how we achieve it that can become the divide in your relationship?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
You go into a relationship wanting the most out of the relationship, but not being honest about who you are.
Right. All right. We're going to dig into that. But as we continue on, coming to the stage right now, all the way from South Carolina by way of Georgia, Douglasville to be specific, my brother like no other, my man with the master plan, Mr. Dwayne Goodson. Yeah.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
What's up, D? Good morning, man. Great to see you on this morning. He had some issues yesterday.
Yeah, boy. Tell you, look, ain't nothing worse than plumbing problems.
Right.
Especially when you wet stuff up.
Right. All right. So we're talking about the difference between men and women, what they want. Pastor kind of broke down.
Come on, women. I need the women to answer. I'm waiting in the comments. Is there a difference between what women want and what men want?
Yes, indeed.
Well, you talking about in a serious relationship, or you talking about in general?
Listen, you can't see the thing is, every relationship is supposed to be approached seriously.
Supposed to.
So right. But we're grown folks having a conversation. So, yeah, I don't want to ask, what do you want in a jacked up or a
gotcha,
unrealistic
talking about in right relationships.
Yeah, we don't want to speak to the real crazy.
Who?
Hey, Unsam, look, my family just coming on. Unsam, I sent you a text 2 days ago. You didn't respond. Just saying.
Called out.
Just saying. I'm just saying. I don't think your numbers changed, Auntie.
Sam, this is my Sam. She said these intros are killing me. Listen, don't hate on my greatness. I'm shining. I'm working it. It's gonna get more better.
I ain't throwing no shots, but why Sam called that on your head a hat? That's a bonnet, ain't it?
No,
he didn't. Really?
You got to turn around.
He see the elastic. He sees the elastic. He's trying to see if it wraps all over.
See there? That ain't right.
That's wrong. That's just wrong. Is YouTube still on?
Yeah, I think so.
I think because some folks is there. Yeah, some folks is there. My YouTube people say, "Hey, what up?" Sam, yeah, there you go. All right. So Keita said, "For myself, yes, I would rather for you to be honest. For time, for time is precious, and I'm not here to waste your time. I guess waste your time on my time. That's basically, yeah. So to rather have the honesty and expectations up front. There were, oh my, really, don't feed into it. Don't feed into it. Okay, she said, okay, got it back.
Sam says there's a big difference. Women want love, men want respect.
Oh, there you go. We need love too.
LL Cool J said, "I need love.
Love, right?
When I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall, and in the back of my mind, I hear my conscience call, telling me I need a girl who's as sweet as a dove. For the first time in my life, I see I need love.
Did I play with many? Oh,
we need love too, Auntie.
Say we need love. We need love. I mean, I the respect, yeah, but I think it's the love." Like respect, I guess if you rank it, like, we have to feel like, I guess that goes with the respect, but we have to feel needed in a relationship. But I think that's anybody
desired. I think
desired. But here's the thing. But she's right. Men do want respect.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with a guy at West Point all the way back in 1987. We were trained. I was in the military, and we were dispatched to train cadets. And I was having this conversation over lunch with this guy, and he asked me this. Because I was like, I think I was 19. I had just gotten married for the first time. And he was one of those guys who were challenging me on why I got married. And he said, "What do you think the most critical factor is in coming together with somebody?" And I was like, "Love." He goes, "Yeah, but what do you need before you can even learn to love somebody?" I was like, "Love." I mean, I like, to me, the top was love. And he said, where does respect come in? He goes, "How can you love someone that you don't respect?"
Easy.
So he put respect out there at first and said, you have to learn to respect. And he said, and I'll take it a step further. He said, you can't even have respect if you don't know what to expect.
Right.
He said, so even before respect, he said, expectations are critical, because if you don't set expectations in a relationship, you won't know how to respect in the first place, and you'll never get to love.
Right.
So he put respect up there. He put expectations highest. Right. He said in his order was expectations, respect, and then love. And he had a great point, and we could all, I don't want to debate all of that, but I'm going back to Sam's comment about respect. Most men would say respect is at the top of their list. But the surface level response is love.
Right.
But I don't think, since we're talking about, and not to debate that perspective, because I appreciate that perspective. It's deep and it's real. But I think, since we're talking right relationships, and we're not just talking about nilly-willy doing whatever you feel like at any time, I think love stands on its own because of what love is, and because who love is, and where love comes from. What people have, you talk about expectation, you talk about the communications piece. When it comes to love, there is only one love. Everything else is something else. If it's not love, it's something else. And love in and of itself, not what different people think it means, but the biblical definition of love. Love stands on its own. Love don't need respect, because love outranks respect. God loved us. He didn't respect us. He loved us. And love was the action behind him giving Jesus, his only son. It wasn't because of respect. Now, when you love somebody, there's respect. There's things that comes along with love. Like this was,
when a man loves a woman.
You didn't love. You don't know love like I know love. You never been hurt like I've been hurt before, and I cried.
Come on, Lenny. Come on, Lenny.
but I think the big takeaway for me is, I've always used this as a play on words, but the Bible says, and the fruit singular of the Spirit is love, and then it gives, for me, my understanding has always been, and then it gives us exactly what love is. The fruit singular of the Spirit is love, and then it talks about the long suffering. Then it talks about the patience and all that other stuff. So all of those are attributes of love. So I think love is the foundation of every great relationship. And then when you talk about love, you figure out what love is and what love does. Love protects. Love doesn't remember. Love it forgets what you've done.
Right.
Love embraces who you are. All that First Corinthians chapter 13 stuff of what love is. Those are all the things that we want in life, but we don't get in relationships because sometimes us men mess things up, right? And we want.
I don't mess things up.
You don't mess things up. I mess things up. I know. But we want people to forgive us and not to remember the things that we've done in the past that's going to hinder the relationship. But we did it, which is causing. Well, mature love does let those things go, and that's what we all want.
Okay. Stop.
Yeah.
You said a minute ago that there's only one type of love,
right?
And now you just said, and I quote, mature love.
Right.
That's
the second thing.
So that's a contradiction to your earlier statement.
No, it's growth,
because that means that there would be an immature love.
Right.
But it's still love.
No, but hold on, because in my so I'm gonna say this, and I get where you're going with it. I just for technical purposes.
Gotcha.
Right.
Because I've taught on love, and I know that there are translations, but there are different types of love.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why agape is mentioned, because it is the perfect love, right? So if there's a perfect love, or a love that is selfless, because that's a perfect love, then there has to be other types, right? And so in I don't know all of them, but I do know that there is a eros, eros, which is that intimate, that romantic love. I know that there is agape. I know there's a familial love, storge. So there's like 7 types of love that you can look up, and they all are defined. But then the ultimate is agape, which is a selfless love, which is the love that allowed Jesus to come. For God so loved the world, right? That he gave himself, a selfless love. He took of himself, came down 42 generations to die a sinner's death on the cross. So I want to put some clarity out there, because I know what you're saying. You're saying love is love. And if you love, the Bible says love covers a multitude of sin. That's why you say love forgets what you've done. And I would say love doesn't forget, but love ignores.
Right. So let me read some of these comments, and let's see.
That's maturity.
Let's see. Respect. Oh my. Okay, back. All right. So we said respect. So on Sam said respect comes with love. Elder McNair said easy for women to produce love. Let's see. He also said, I believe because
Elder
women
McNair
provide
said
women easy for women to produce love. Yeah. He also said, I believe because women provide a wealth of love, that love is not a factor because it's easy. Interesting. Peter says, you have to understand that though before you can receive it. Okay. Sam also says, trust also is the most important, for the lack of it will destroy a marriage. She also says, when you look at the fruits of the Spirit, a woman and a man will have a great relationship when they can answer this for each other. Interesting. So I'd say, like, the thing with respect, comes with love.
She put an S on the fruits of this. She put an S on the fruit of the Spirit.
You said she put an S on the fruits.
The fruits.
Okay. Yeah, when we look at the fruits.
The fruit of the Spirit.
Right.
Singular. in multiple forms.
Right.
That's what I love about God's spiritual tree, is that you get one fruit with multiple, what do you call it? It comes in multiple facets.
Right.
But the fruit of the spirit is love, joy, peace. Right.
Right. Break that down. Just a little correction.
I'm just being technical this morning.
No, it's good. That's good. So I feel like can someone love you and still not respect you? Like, I love you, but I can't respect you based on your actions or based on what you've done. He said, "Okay, my nephew, help me out." You.
That's a good question, AD.
Yeah,
no, that's an amazing question. No, that ain't a good question. That's an amazing question.
Amazing.
That's an amazing question, because that question right there has been at the crux of every argument. Well, not every, but the majority of arguments that most men that I know have been in with their spouses. But I love you, baby. No, you don't love me, because if you love me, you wouldn't have did A, B, and C.
Right.
I've been on the other end, and I did love them. I just was messed up, and I did some things that wasn't conducive to love. It didn't change who I was, but my actions didn't say that. So I get the argument that people have. If you love somebody, you'll do something. I mean, it comes straight out the Bible. Jesus, he said, if you love me, obey my commandments, right?
Right.
So a lot of us get to that, but I'm glad Pastor did the technical breakdown of love, because even in that, our minds, our souls, our mind, it's not perfected when we know Christ. Our spirits are perfected when we know Christ. Romans 12:2 tells us that we need to renew our minds daily and transfer and be not conformed to the world. Then Paul says, I die daily. All these things are saying that, hey, I started out right here, but I'm trying to get here. Right. And the path from here to here is going to be a whole lot of stuff, and you're going to mess up a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I don't think they're interchangeable. Love and respect in a person, because a person is being made. We're not our finished product right now. And even when doing our best, you're still not your finished product. And the humanity in you can take somebody that you really do love, and you can have a moment or an instance where you don't respect them.
Well, that's very well put, because you're validating what the scripture says. I mean, the reality is God loves us, but he hates the sin. Right. I can love you and hate what you're doing. The problem we have with each other is we have an identity crisis between who I am and what I've done.
Okay.
You take what I've done and you make it who I am. And that causes you to see me differently. Right. God has the ability to see us and recognize whether or not we're covered under the blood. Right. That's why we need the blood, because to your point, D, we're not perfect, but I thank God for being covered. Covered gives me room to be imperfect. And still receive a perfect love. God hates the sin that I commit, but he still loves me. He does not respect the sin, but he loves me because he recognizes I'm fixable. That act is not fixable. You can't fix that. You can't fix that behavior. But the one who executes the behavior can be repaired. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed. Paul said in Ephesians, this I say therefore and testify in the Lord, that you henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk in the vanity of their mind. He's saying put away all that other stuff that was with the old man, and you pick up all the stuff that comes with the new man. I have the ability to change my behavior. So that I can no longer be identified, associated with this stuff, with this act. Right. He said in Romans, you become dead to sin. You become dead to that stuff and alive in Christ. So now I won't be judged by those actions because those actions, to your point, love throws those actions into the sea of forgetfulness.
Right.
I can love you and hate what you're doing.
Right.
But we want to hate you because of what you're doing.
Right. But I mean, I dig it, and I get, we're trying to get to that agape love for each other. But it's challenging to look past your past actions, as you
We
as you
can't even
walk.
get to Ludus, playful love.
Listen, maybe we need. We're gonna put all those down. We're gonna go through these love levels.
Somebody can look that up. Somebody can look that up on.
I know 4 of them. I don't know all 7. The other 7, they get a little. I ain't gonna say convoluted, but I think sometimes. Well, the agape, eros, philia, and storge. Those 4 I've probably seen and heard since I was 13. I never. It depends on the scholar that I looked up, because some scholars that I looked up had the other ones filtered under these 4 categories, and some of them had the total 7 that they had them in other ones. But eros, philia, storge, pragma, philautia, ludus,
pragma. That's another one. That's the long suffering.
So it's okay. So while you're looking at those, I'll look at those up. I was going to give you a minute. We'll be right back tonight at 8:30. We have the Sisters of Legacy. Well, actually, let's do it in order. Tonight at 7, we have Solomon's Temple Christian Ministries Bible study with my man, no other than this brother, Pastor Ryan McCory, Senior, tonight. So we'll be right back. All right. And after Solomon's Temple Christian Ministries, we've got Sisters of Legacy. And tonight, they'll be talking about the COVID vaccine with a special guest. You can't see the name. Bam. Latoya Mosley. She will be in the building. She currently had the vaccine, and she will discuss her experience with that. So we look forward to having that conversation. So tonight, you have Solomon's Temple Christian Ministry. Then after that, at 8:30, look out for Sisters of Legacy. It's going to be an amazing conversation. All right. So we're back. All right. Oh, he threw it in there. Okay. All right. So let's see.
Oh, my bad. I should have put it all in the same one.
Right. Right. And Sam sent it to me as well. All right. Oh, let's see. So we have, all right, let's just bust them out. Let's see. We got Eros, which is romantic love, Phila, if I'm make sure I'm saying that right, affectionate love.
That's where the city of Philadelphia come from, literally.
Oh, the city of
no, that's why they call it the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection.
Nice. Storge is familiar love. All right. Pragma is enduring love. Oh, let me hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Bam. So you can see our faces. Let's do this. Felucia. Am I saying that right? All right, something like that. Self-love. We know agape, because I've heard that a whole bunch. Unconditional love. Oh, and ludus. Playful love. Like ludicrous. All right.
Crazy love, but that's a crazy playful love.
Right. And Richard said he's getting his second dose in 3 weeks. Nice, nice. All right. So these are the different kinds of love. I mean, so yeah, that's a whole lot to dig into. So yeah, that's gonna throw me way off.
Levels, man. There's
we'll dig into that though. We dig into that. I thank you guys for sharing. Thank you, Sam, for hitting me
know
up
the
with
beautiful
that.
thing is though, AD?
What's that?
This just shows you God and shows you us. Because
Right.
God is every last one of those wrapped up into one. Because
Right.
God is love. He's all of that. And
Right.
we're striving to be that.
Be that, right.
And this is so I will say this. I think in relationships, all of us need to be working on each one of these daily.
Right.
Because when any one of these go astray, this is what happens when people who've loved each other and been in love for 15 years, all of a sudden, what happened to the Jack and Jill? Man, they were doing good. Well, Jack and Jill had a leak in one of these loves somewhere.
Right.
That's how 15 years, 20 years, or a year goes down.
Because Jill forgot to take her pill?
Hey,
wrong Jack and Jill. My bad.
Yeah. They went from sharing a bathroom to him pushing her down the hill.
So okay, let me ask you this though. So is unconditional love, right? Is unconditional love unconditional in your relationship?
What does that mean?
Meaning no matter what, like, because unconditional is there's no conditions based on me loving you, right? So I love you. Can you do you believe in the mantra loving you but can't be with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But my love is conditional.
Right. Right. Is it not?
My love is conditional.
Okay.
Because I'm human. Because
Right.
I'm finite.
Right. That's the word I was looking for. I was going to say too. Finite.
Slide, but not everything.
Right. Because I'm imperfect. How can
Right.
I have a perfect love and I'm an imperfect being?
That's good.
I think people get messed up when look, it is a lofty goal to try to have unconditional love for people. That's a lofty goal. But what people have to realize is we're human.
Right.
And we're striving for that. Maybe if you're a good person that's actually striving for that.
Right.
But not everybody is there. The person that you love the most isn't there. Right. So when you hurt them, guess what? They might be at 70, 80%. They can love unconditionally.
Right.
But what you just did put you in that 20% that they ain't got yet.
Right.
So when they was like, baby, I do love you. You're everything to me, but I can't do this anymore because it's not saying that, oh, you're not a Christian because you're not loving me the way you're supposed to. No, right. I'm still working on myself. I ain't there yet.
Right.
I ain't Christ. Look,
right.
I haven't hit that point yet. I'm doing, some people can be cheated on and can keep it moving and can still love you and get to a point where they don't throw that in your face anymore. Some people can do that.
But see, if you emotionally abuse me,
there you go. Okay. Abuse. I like that.
I think sometimes it would have been easier it'd have been better if you just cheated.
Okay.
Because cheating is an act.
Right.
But if you continue to emotionally abuse someone, if your relationship is based on psychological warfare, right? My wife and I've been together 24 years.
Right.
We've been together a long time. We've been together a lifetime to me. I don't know, because and we've had some rough. We've had we've had a rough season at one point in our life.
Right. Right.
Well, I didn't know if we were going to make it.
Wow.
But we did make it through that.
Right.
We're still here to testify that we made it through, and we're stronger today than we were before that season.
Right.
You ask me today, I don't know what it would take. I don't know what it would take for my wife and I to go separate ways.
Right.
Because I can't see it. The love that I have cannot see division.
Right.
Right? Love requires vision.
Right.
You have to be able to see beyond these issues. You understand? These mistakes.
I get
right?
You.
And because a lot of times we look, so when we talk about, are we looking for the same things? And someone said respect, someone said love, someone said this, someone said that. When you make that statement, like you could be cheated on and survive it. Yeah, a lot of people have been cheated on and survived it.
Right.
But what does that survival look like?
Right.
Because you're together doesn't mean you survived.
Right.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So what are we really? Hey, there's my wife. What are we really?
Hey, one lady.
And I'm glad you're on here because you can endorse me, lovely. Please help. You have to be able. Like, I think that a real person, I can't say a real man. I'm saying a man.
Right.
Looking for a partner has to have vision. So do we see the same thing? Do we want the same things? Right. I want vision. I want to be able to see the future with you.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
I think my wife wanted to be able to see security and stability with me. Right. I think we both want a happy and healthy relationship, but the pictures of the relationship are drawn differently between men and women.
Yep, I'd agree.
Right? When we came together, we sat down at where did we go? We went to Jack in the Box. We had lunch in the Jack in the Box in LA.
Yes,
sir. And we sat down and I talked to her and I told her, I shared a vision with her. I said, this is the direction that I'm traveling in.
Right.
And I want you to come with me. That's what I said to her after we had been dating a couple of months. Right. I wanted to make sure that she bought into the vision. I wanted her to be able to paint the picture, to see it.
Right.
Or because if she couldn't, So if she couldn't see it, she wasn't getting in that relationship car and riding with me anywhere.
Interesting.
And what I was describing, the day I described it, I did not look like that. Right. So it was important for her to see beyond where I was at the time. I know the picture she had in her mind. I want to have a relationship. I want to, have a person in my life. I want a man to love me. I want this. I want that. But in order to get from where we were at Jack in the Box to where we are now, I had to paint a picture that was attractive to her. Right. Because before I had that conversation, she might have wanted it, but she didn't see the picture that I had in my head. Right. That's how you become. That's how you can two walk. The Bible says, can two walk together except they be agreed. Right. We had to come into agreement with the picture that I drew for the future. Right.
Pastor, you are so, bro. Look, you needed those psychologists, or I know you're a counselor and all that stuff on the past, but you need to put that on your. Look, you just told one of my life stories. What you just said, and I'm gonna validate what you just said. I remember meeting, and I know I'm gonna say X, but it's gonna even show that you're right even more so. I'm when I met my ex, the first thing we did after our first date is we sat in my truck and we talked till the sun came up.
Of course.
And before we split ways, I was like, look, I like you. Right. But I don't know if I'm the type of person that you could see yourself with. I was like, I know I'm in the club all the time. I know I'm drinking and partying and having fun. I was like, but this ain't who I am. Who I am is who God called me to be. Now, I don't know how you feel about God and all that stuff, but I was like, I'm a Christian that's messed up right now. Right. But I'm supposed to be a pastor. I'm supposed to be a preacher. I'm supposed to be giving my life to the service of God. And this is who I want to be. I'm not there yet, but this is my heart desire. And I was like, so before we move forward, then we like I said, we had like a 7-hour conversation. I was like, is that something you can see yourself with? Because I don't see myself in the club for the rest of my life, not even for the foreseeable future. I was like, the things that I'm doing now is not going to be who I am. You know what? She bought the vision, but I didn't. I didn't completely fulfill the vision, and that's what led. That was part of the reason we didn't. Now, granted, there are specifics within there, but just looking at what you just said, I presented a vision, and as long as the vision was being fulfilled, or she could see movement towards the vision, we worked.
Right.
But the moment the vision became something, a different vision than what she had expected to see,
Right.
when the what she was seeing and the vision that I presented started doing this, she was lost. I lost her. I ain't gonna say she was lost.
Right.
The relationship started to go two different ways because she had a vision that she accepted and she wanted, and that's what she joined the relationship for. Yeah, she was attracted. Yeah, she was intrigued. Yeah, she liked what she saw, but she gravitated to the vision.
Right.
And when that vision wasn't there anymore,
right,
what she was putting in and what she could deal with, it just was too much for what she wasn't getting.
Yeah. So I think a lot of times, I guess, your words matching up with your actions, when it doesn't come together enough, that's what happens. Me, when we got together, we had this deep talk of no vision. Zero vision. We got together and was hoping for the best. I wish I had a great story like Pastor with. We kind of was like flying at the seat. What do they call it? Flying by the seat of your pants, some junk that and we just kind of figured out. We just wanted to be together. That was the goal. Be together, and try to build something.
But that's vision, bro.
Yeah, it worked.
No matter what the plan is, we have a vision that we're together.
Yeah, this is me and you. We rocking this together.
That's vision.
Absolutely.
Over time, it kind of like it. And I'll say for myself, casting a real direction started affecting us. And we were, communication was breaking down. It wasn't until the full breakup and me realizing, okay, what's next? What are we going to do with our life? That she was like, I see you going somewhere, like, I think I want to get back on board. And we worked it out, because I realized, legacy mattered, so it's like, what are we doing? What are we building? And, she constantly have the check-ins. All right, what are we doing? What are we building? How are we going to make this thing work? So it's casting that vision, so it's understanding. And my thing is with Brothers of Legacy, the legacy period, it's just, if I can get to every young person, just to teach them, every young man have vision. When you're getting your mate, you're getting your wife, where are you going? What's your plan? And like you said, Pat, sitting down, where we at? This is what I would like to see in us. And she's like, I like that. And this is what I expect from you. You expect from me. And we have expectations.
Boom. Expectations.
Yes.
But think about this. You said there was on the front end of what you all had, it was, we'll be together.
Right.
In this version, you're working together.
Right.
Right. Sometimes, and when we talk about, I want this, and what man wants, what woman wants.
Right.
Sometimes in painting the vision, painting the picture,
right,
you're so busy telling somebody where you're going, and you neglect to tell them what part they play.
Right. Ooh. Right. That's good.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Here's what I'm going to do. God called me to do this. God called me to do that. And like, well, okay.
Right. Right.
Right. How many? How many women out there saying, "I helped you do this. I helped you do that. I helped you do this," and now that you made it, you done left me.
Right.
Because that vision was written and it did not have a role.
Right. Right.
It was a self-centered vision.
Yes.
And when you can't find yourself in the vision, it's easy to mess it up. And here's the thing. And you said, I wish I had a great story like Pastor. what makes this story sound great to you all,
right,
we won't
is because Lady is still here.
right, right, exactly, right.
We've been to hell and back.
Right.
What makes the story great is she said the picture is still being painted.
Right.
I still have paint on my hands. I'm still it's a work in progress. But the difference is she has paint on her hands.
Right.
So we're both working on this canvas. Right. And the great part about it is we there's one frame, one canvas, and we're both painting. And in my finger painting, I can paint what I see in my future, but I can also paint what I see in my wife's future. Well, guess what? She can paint what she sees in her future, but she can also paint. She's got fingerprints on my side as well, on my painting as well. So right now, you get what you're doing. Your wife is also doing.
Right.
You're working together.
Yes.
And that's the thing. I think we miss that. We talk about what I'm going to do, what you're going to do. That's why folks have separate bank accounts.
Right.
People think it's 50-50. That's not 50-50. It's 100-100. It's actually 110.
Right.
And that extra 10 is Jesus.
Right. Yes, indeed.
Makes sense?
Wait,
so that's clear.
Hold on, Dwayne, before you jump in. We got one more person coming to the stage. All the way from Tennessee.
By way of
right. It looks like he there right now. Tennessee. My brother, like no other, Mr. Sportsman, who loves Jordan more than anything in the world. Mr. Cole. Something in the middle name. Johnson.
Number one. I'm sorry. Good morning, Pastor. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning, Nino Brown.
Sam, that's the second hat. Oh, it's the tango. My bad.
Number two, why you gonna lie to the people, AD? I love more individuals than Jordan. Come on,
I know.
now.
I'm just picking.
Yeah, remember there's Pippen.
Right.
Rodman.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh man.
Lord.
Right.
But after hearing y'all talk,
How you
and
doing,
I know
Auntie?
everybody who watched this doesn't watch football, but I keep it as simple. I ain't gonna go. When I was young, playing little league football, and I didn't know any better, and I didn't know the game, but I had coaches. You know what the coach told me to do? Okay, your first thing is you on this side of the ball. Like you got the ball, you got offense on one side, you got defense on one side.
Right.
He was like, you on this side of the ball. He was like, can you remember that? Yes, sir. All right. Don't get on that. Don't move to that side of the ball till the ball move.
Right.
Okay, I got it, sir. I got it. Got it, coach. And then, like, when you know football, you know that there's 11 distinct positions on either side of the ball, and each one of those positions have a purpose where they have something they have to do.
Right.
Well, as a kid, I didn't know. I played defense, and he was like, "Son, I don't need you to know the difference between tackle and guard and linebacker right now. Right. All I need you to do, find the dude with the ball and hit him. Can you do that, son?"
Right.
And then I learned how to hit the person with the ball. Right. And then he was like, "Okay, now you're a left tackle. You don't need to be on the right side. Stay on the left side. Find the person with the ball and hit him." And then he built on it up until the point where I can tell you what a left linebacker does, what the safety does, free safety. It gets convoluted if you don't know football, but everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a place. When I first started, it was, son, I don't need you to know everything you need to do because you're not in the big league yet. You're not married yet. So fathers, us, brothers of legacy, uncles, all of us, we need to find these young boys. Hey, hit somebody. That's all you need to do. Okay, now you know how to hit somebody. All right, read the quarterback when he do this. This is what you do in that. It's strategy. Football and relationship is strategies. But strategies only go as far as what you know how to implement. And this is where you get strategy. AD, you said it. When you and Sam first got together, you just wanted to be together. You didn't know exactly how to do that, what you needed to do. You just, I'm going to be with you.
Right.
And then you got some flags along the play. You got backed up 15 yards.
That's
and
good.
then look at you. You're scoring now.
Hey, did you guys hear about Tua Tagovailoa?
There, y'all getting sacks now. Y'all doing
Did you hear about Tua out of Miami, Dwayne?
Say again?
Did you hear about Tua Tagovailoa out of Miami?
What he doing now? He getting traded?
No. He's the quarterback drafted for Miami Dolphins. Played last season.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He said, and I quote, "Last year I didn't even know the playbook."
Yeah, I remember reading that. Yeah.
He almost took him to the playoffs not knowing the playbook.
Wow.
Yeah, but that people were criticizing him. Like, you don't say that out loud, right?
Yeah, that's something you do not say out loud.
He basically said what you just said, Dwayne.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Now, look at what he did without knowledge of the playbook.
Wow.
Right. Got them within one win of a playoff spot. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he didn't. The backup quarterback did.
Well, no. Well, all except for one of those wins.
Yeah, he had to be replaced at some point.
Right.
You know, the reality is you can't continue without a playbook.
Right. That's true.
Regardless of who you are, because he's a two-time.
But you can still have some success without a playbook.
Right.
Right.
That's the thing. The difference between phase 1 for AD and Samantha and phase 2 is phase 2 includes a playbook. Wow. They still gained some ground in phase 1.
Get your playbook.
But now they got a playbook. Now they can.
Hey, Pastor, get your playbook.
Yeah. Now he doesn't. Now he can actually go through progressions.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Now I can see the field more clearly.
Mm-hmm. Right. So getting our young men ready. So just I like the way you broke it down, Dwayne. So basically, speak to them in a like, listen, you don't have to see 15, but just see what you want to happen for your life, like coming together. You know, being what's that word? Monogamous. You know, like just you two, you know, working this thing together to build something greater. Mm-hmm. And then when we get down the line, what does your greater look like? Is that the right way to put it? You know, like at least let's get started on the right foot. Just you and her, you know, just and stay faithful. Just stay faithful to your covenant and just let's move forward. You know, stay faithful, stay transparent, keep communication. Let's just focus on the basics.
Because in football, you got 5 practices a week before you play a game.
Right.
So you still going through it even before you go through it. Because you got to know what it looked like. You got to know what it looked like.
And that's just practices. You're not talking about walkthroughs, film study, rehearsal before the game, walkthrough before the game. That's all before you actually see them take the field.
Practice, man. Are we talking about practice?
Yes, Alan Iverson. We're talking about practice.
Not a game. Not a game.
Hey,
look, no, not a game. Not a game.
I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say it now. You said it about a month and a half ago when we had the AI conversation. You were right, sir. And I knew you was right. I just didn't. Now that I'm seeing this part of it, it makes you being right. Like not aha, I told you so moment, but it's one of those moments of growth because there are things that you get in practice. There are scenarios that you see in practice that will surprise you in the game if you've never prepared for it.
Okay,
that's why practice is absolutely.
But if you're prepared for it, you can get that interception to 1 yard line and win the Super Bowl.
Right.
How do you? Okay, but so let's translate this. How do you prepare for a life with your mate? How do you prepare for that? What is preparation?
Understanding the fundamentals of what makes a relationship successful.
Right. Yeah.
See, going into when I talked to my wife at Jack in the Box, I'm like, I told her we're going to have some rough times.
Right.
It's going to happen. But how we respond to it is going to make or break the relationship. Right. I said, we're going to get there. We're going to get there, and either we're going to look back and be like, ooh, look at God. Thank you, Jesus, praising our way all the way through. Or we're going to get there kicking, scratching, screaming, and crying.
Right.
You understand? That no matter what, this vision is going to come to pass.
Right.
Now, me and Lady, we kicked, scratched, screamed, and cried.
Right.
That's just the truth.
Cry, cry.
But if we never played that out, if we never played it out beforehand,
yes,
how could we have been able to overcome all those things? Right. How could we have?
That's true.
If you never talk about it in the play in the practice room, if it never gets to the table, you won't know what to do with it when it happens. We didn't have any of the right answers. Well, we did. We had one. Jesus.
That was it.
You hear me?
It's just a matter of following him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I messed up 6 ways from Sunday.
Right.
You know, and I think to your point, AD, the message to young people is like in football, you at least have to know what the difference between a 3-point stance and a 4-point stance.
Facts.
Yeah.
You at least need to know the holes in the line.
Right.
Fundamentals.
So that you can know where you're going and you can also know where the enemy could come in.
Fundamentals.
Right.
Fundamentals.
You got to know positioning.
Yeah.
Don't get out. Ooh, boy, come on now.
Man, I'm telling you, Pastor's like, last night, me and my woman, we cried together. Said, wait, no, let me do it.
And I don't know about any, like,
that's good.
After you know the fundamentals, I promise you, practices suck.
Yeah.
Practices definitely suck.
Being in a marriage where you're broken and help make that marriage broken, it sucks.
Right.
Look, I don't even remember some of the practices, but because I went through them, I can tell you what some of them was like. I can't breathe. Oh, my head's still ringing after that hit. Oh, man, it's raining. Oh, man, he just hit me. He just blindsided me because I wasn't in position, or he let me get outside of him, and then I got a quarterback. All those things matter, and then you start to think about them. Am I playing my position?
Yeah.
Or am I trying to be somebody else?
Right.
Am I trying to get glory in a position that don't belong to me?
That's good. Yeah.
Because when I moved along the line, depending on where we were in the field, I know I'm gonna do, but I played defensive line because I was fast and I didn't, and you couldn't hurt me. You probably could, but didn't. So
go ahead, Bruce Smith.
Yeah, we ran a 6-2. We ran a 6-2, and I played guard, and our guards just shot the gap every play to get to the quarterback. But in goal line situation, we moved to tackle, and our big guys.
Your assignment changes.
So my thing then was to go into the tackle, try to put them into the backfield, then get to the ball, not go directly for the ball. I remember, and he's dead and gone, Willie Fred Daniels, Coach Willie Fred Daniels, one of the greatest football minds I've ever met. He came on the field on a Friday night with his whistle because I was out of position. And he took his whistle. It's not legal now. And you get fined for it now. And he went across my helmet.
Okay.
Joker. What was your assignment? Your assignment will go straight through and get to the ball. You into the and I'm embarrassed. It's a Friday night game.
Right.
You got about 20 points. What are you doing this to me for, coach?
You know what's so funny about all of this?
I was out of position, and I learned never to be out of position again because I got embarrassed in my mess because I had been constantly and consistently taught position. Coaches telling me, teammates telling me, hey, Dwayne, slide over a step. You too far in. You too far to the outside. Shade over the guy. And I'm not listening.
You make too many mistakes. Your opponents will tell you too.
That's why brothers with legacy is needed, because I may see you out of position. You may see me out of position. Hey, slide over. Okay, now you're good.
It is true. It is truly all about fundamentals. I mean, just listening to all of this. Film study is when you actually see and you break down tendencies of an opponent, and you also break down your own tendencies. And it's a truth review. You get to see what you do well and what you don't do well. And so linking that to relationships with a 14, 15, 16-year-old boy, / girl, you have to look at the successful relationships. Some that are maybe a little older, some that are much older. Right. But you have to look at successful relationships. And it may not be in your house, but you have to look at them because you want to see the end result and get there. And if you don't do the study, you're going to be as dysfunctional as we see out on these reality TV shows. When you get girls who are like, look, I want the baby, I don't want the man. I mean, you gotta see those types of fundamentals. And then when you get older, the responsibilities change. Like what Dwayne was saying, at different parts of the field, your position may have more than one assignment to it. You know, third and long, a defensive end / outside linebacker pins his ears and tries to get at the quarterback. Right. Third and short, that's more of a run-oriented type of thing where you want to make sure you plug a hole. Right. Goal line situation, same thing. But no matter the position, your duties change. And in life and relationship, no matter depending on the position, your responsibility to your mate changes. And as you grow older, it grows and it gets more expansive and it gets more intricate and more and you have to be more deliberate in being about your partner. Right. And if you don't put in the work and you don't remember what you study, then you shouldn't even be in a relationship in the first place, whether you're 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65. Period.
That's good. So I was sitting there thinking, like, what does practice look like, right? So I what I came up with, and you let me know if I'm wrong. And let me read Howes real quick. He said, "Now, brother, that is honesty. There will be turbulence in this flight. This is where a trained good pilot makes a difference. We will land this plane safely." Yes, indeed. Practice to me looks like coming together with other brothers that are married and going through, and we talking, like, how's everything going? And I'm like, well, I think I lost a discussion. She asked me, do I look fat in this? And I answered, just getting tips and things like that. Like, how do you respond to this? We're not talking right now. What do I say? Like, say something, like just things like going through the rounds and having understanding. And then anybody else in the room, like, okay, I'm taking that in. So if I'm in that situation, I know how to handle it, probably because Pastor's already been through that, or Dwayne has already been through that, or Cole has just experienced that and he figured out how to make it right. How do we survive these turbulent moments? How do we survive when there is a hiccup in our relationship, either side that has an issue or messes up, like my wife did something. How do I forgive and get past this? How do I move forward from this? What's the process? How do I gain the trust back in my spouse? Because, I wanted to just get over it, but that's not the reality. We have to gain the trust back so that she can at least start to feel comfortable with me going back out or doing certain things. Like, how do I get the courage to have the conversation, to bring it up, to have the strategy session, because we want it to be things to be thrown into the sea of forgetfulness. But the reality is, we stew on things, they come up, triggers happen and you think about old stuff, so it's like, how do we bring the conversation up and have a have it where you're not so triggered, but we come up with a strategy so you feel comfortable. You
know what's fun? I'm going to say something really silly.
That's funny.
Go ahead.
All I kept hearing over and over in my head while you were talking at the AD was, "You ain't gotta lie, Craig."
What you got to lie for?
Here's why.
That's perfect. That is perfect, though. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because we don't want to deal with the consequences,
right,
of our actions, of our mistakes. And to your point, Cole, watching film on people that have been successful is great. Watching film on people that have messed up is great. But you got to be able to see your own film too.
Facts.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Watch yourself in the previous play and see what you did wrong. Like, oh, I see what I did right there.
I love this flow.
Right? See right there. I should have. Man. If I'd have told the truth there. And then, because what happens is I love the fact that yes, lovely triggers, and here's and I love the fact that lady just said triggers. That's so true.
She picked it up.
Yeah, because she knows in our house.
Right, because
we got that button, right?
Share a vision.
Right. But here's the thing, because not everybody's going to react or respond the same way.
Right. Exactly.
Your relationship has its own strand of DNA. Right. And just because Dwayne's wife was able to receive it in love doesn't mean Cole's wife is going to receive it in love.
Right. Right.
You understand?
Right.
But what's important is that you put it out there, because you'll never know what kind of spouse or kind of mate you have until you put it out there and see how they react or respond to it. But if you never put it out there, you're doing yourself a disservice. So you got to look at yourself in the previous play and confess your faults one to another, pray one for another that you may be healed.
Right. And Pastor, to piggyback off what you said, that's why I said I love this flow. I'm going to take it back to football. When I played linebacker as a 12-year-old, we had this kid named Isaac Stackhouse. Isaac he went on to become like our star player in high school. He was big, fast, and strong. And we hit about the same, but he was faster than me, and he might have been a little bit stronger. He might have been a little stronger. But he played offense, and he usually had about a 10-yard start before I got a chance to hit him. I'm not going to lie. As a 12-year-old, I wasn't scared of him. I was going to hit him, but I knew that when we collided, it was going to be painful. I knew I was going to see stars.
I'm proud of you, Dwayne. I'm proud of you, man. At 12 years old, you learn how to make business decisions.
Right. You got to, because sometimes you're going to see what life is fitting to throw at you. You know what the play is, because you studied the playbook, because you've seen the game. You know exactly what play is coming, and you know they're isolating you, and you're the difference between a touchdown and a stop. You don't want that smoke, but you know if you don't take the smoke, you know what the outcome is. So sometimes you just gotta bear with it and do what you gotta do.
Right, man. You brothers speaking fire, speaking real fire. Well, but I'll say this though. I think with our youth, we have to push upon them what a Super Bowl championship and relationships look like, because what they think is a Super Bowl championship is betting a woman or betting a girl. They think that's the trophy. No, that's not the trophy. That's a distraction. The trophy is when you actually bonded in Jesus with a woman is bonded in Jesus with a man, and you have bound in marriage to her, and you've done that. That's one of the Super Bowls. Another is children. Another is seeing the growth of your relationship in marriage. Another is seeing the growth in marriage with your children and with your mate. Right. We have to prioritize marriage being the be all and end all in relationships, not in life, in relationships. And we don't, because we all walk, and now we're seeing young men walk with the same mentality of, well, I could do bad all by myself. You're right. You can do bad all by yourself. Unfortunately, you doing bad all by yourself and that woman doing bad all by herself means that we as a community do worse all by ourselves. And we don't stress that at all. Right. There is a beauty to bonding with one another. Right. And we have to stress the beauty in the bonding, not deal with the dramas of it. Right. Not saying that we don't say we have to ignore it, but we have to prioritize. There's a beauty in bonding. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily mean sexually. I mean, as in, you look at this woman as a guy and you understand, wow, this is a beautiful creation. I'm not talking about just physical. I'm talking about the mental. I'm talking about the emotional. I'm talking about the psychological. And you say to yourself, I could see my forever in this person. Now, at 15, you have to manage expectations. Right. You can't be saying that pretty much at 15. Now, you may say it to a little bit, but you have to say, that forever, I could possibly see it, but man, I got to take care of a lot of stuff myself before I even entertain that thought. True. But you have to see successful relationships, like what Pastor said. Like I said, film study is truth review. You see what opponents do, and you see what you do, well and horrible. And you have to make sure to know what you do well to strengthen it, and what you do bad to change the behavior.
Definitely.
Can I make one more quick? I wrote it down.
One more comment.
I wrote it down so to be short. But I just want to say this because I know we're running low on time. But the Bible tells us to be not unequally yoked, right?
Right.
Let me make this make sense to everything that we've been talking about. The term yoked, unequally yoked, that whole phrase refers to work. I want you to hear that again. It refers to work. You can't be unequally yoked because those two animals yoked together are about to do work. And if one animal is working harder than the other animal, or if one person is working harder than the other person, then you're going to mess the product up.
Right.
Be not unequally yoked. Don't go into a situation to work with somebody who's not going to work the same intensity you're going to work.
Right. All right. That's the word. So appreciate you guys rocking and hanging with us. Another day of the Brothers of Legacy. And make sure if you're in the building, you join our community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. Let me throw Chris coming on. He said the way to a man's heart is through his credit score.
I was going to say through your stomach.
All right.
Or through the rib cage. Through the rib cage, you know.
Let's see. So, and Lady McCory said, forgiveness is imperative. Without rekindling the trust in your relationship, there will always be those triggers that AD talked about. Yes, indeed. Yes, enjoy your day as well. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Different conversation. Just taking it up a notch. Make sure you share and join our community so you will never, ever miss a episode. So we look forward to seeing you same time. Always know that we love you, but God loves you more. And we'll see you in the AM. Peace out, everybody.
I didn't want to catch that morning. Good morning. Welcome to another edition. Good morning, everybody.
This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. Ready to go live? Go to bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. That's bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. This episode is also brought to you by Self. Build credit now. Go to bit.ly/now build credit. bit.ly/now build credit.